What if everything that you've known about reality is about to go through a profound transformation? Right now, two major timelines are running parallel to each other, but not for long, because we're about to experience a massive split. Now, the process has already begun, and today I'm going to share with you the 5 phases of this process. Right now, one timeline is leading humanity towards a path of chaos and fear and destruction, and the other one is leading humanity towards a path of love, unity, and sovereignty. And you, as a light worker, hold the energetic blueprint, not just to assist yourself, but to assist others during this massive, massive transition. But time is of the essence. You probably notice the acceleration every single day, and it's not going to slow down at any point. Hi, I'm Charlie, and today I'm going to share with you the 5 phases of the timeline split as revealed by the Pleiadians, so that you can navigate this process with courage, confidence, and love. Because we've just stepped into one of the most pivotal phases, if not the most pivotal phase, the Pleiadians call the Great Spiritual Battle. Now, it's not a battle with bullets and bombs, but rather it's an invitation for you to step into the very reason that you chose to come into this planet at this point in time, which is to anchor the light, to assist humanity into this transition, and to bring about this profound transformation that it leads humans towards the new earth, the real new earth, not the Archon's version of new earth. So let's start at the beginning. How did we get here? Now, this split has been in the works for a very, very long time, but we really started to see the effects of it in 2012. Now, this year was predicted in lots of ancient calendars, and for good reason. Now, so much of what happened in 2012 was because of the foundation that the first wave of volunteers set up. And they put in a lot of work from the moment that they came into this planet to help us get to a place in 2012. And what happened in 2012 was a massive shift. Maybe you felt it in your life. I know I did. My life started to change very, very drastically around that time. And it happened so for a lot of people. A lot of people started to question. A lot of people started to go through internal transformations and maybe even external transformations by becoming aware of the matrix, of this reality, of this simulation that's been created by the archons to seize control of our minds and consciousness. A lot of people started being exposed to ancient teachings and started to become aware of where we came from. And this went on and on until 2020. This is what the Pleiadians call phase 2. Now, this was a major time of change, but not just a major time of change. This was the time, and you felt the split here in even more. If you guys remember, in 2020, during that event, it became very obvious. The people that said, I don't buy this. I am not okay with doing this to my body. I want real sovereignty over my body. I see that you're giving me a lot of compliance tests. I'm not going for it. And people started seeking answers, the truth, right? This was major. But then it also became obvious the people who said, if you don't do that, then it's okay for you to be killed or die. I mean, this is extreme, but this is what started happening. So you started to experience the split even more. And this went on and on for the next 4 years. Now, this is where you saw a lot of the coming online of second waivers as well. The second waivers are generally late Gen X's and millennials. You saw people who really woke up during this time. You saw a lot of people who also started to connect with their galactic family. And you probably noticed that a lot of people started sharing their channelings or started channeling, whether it was publicly or privately. It was like a real little spiritual evolution. And then it brings us to this phase. Now, this is what's really amazing because right now we are at phase 3. This is when you start to feel the split even more. So much so that if you guys noticed on social media, people after the elections in the US, and I mentioned the elections in the US because they do tend to affect a lot of the world around, is that you notice people that were getting divorces and stopped talking to families who voted for one side to the next. You saw the split even more, which is great for the archons because that's what they want to see. They want to see us divided, right? They work so hard through the media, Hollywood, through so many systems, the healthcare system and all that, to divide us. Now, one thing I wanted to mention going back to 2020 is that you also saw people's life force beginning to alchemize their life force energy. And you're going to see even more of this as we step into the next two phases. And what that means is a lot of people started noticing that they were just literally, pardon my language, pissing off their life force energy, whether it was by, men or even women addicted to pornography or serial dating or sleeping around or all that. A lot of people started noticing, wait, what am I doing? I've sort of been in this unconscious state of repeating actions. Let me begin to harness this life force energy. That's when you saw people also quitting jobs, because that's another way. Of course it's great to work, but some people were just in automatic mode, working in jobs that they hated and not really even applying their true talents and skills. And this is when you saw a lot of people starting to have that weird transition period in 2020 when we went into lockdown. But then they started noticing, wait, I can take this life force, this intelligence, this a lot of star seeds started to really sprout their own star seed and say, I can step into a next role of sharing my real light with the world. And so right now that we're at this pivotal phase, because this is when we're going to see from 25 to 26, the next couple of years, this major divide. And we're going to also see major events around the world. We're going to see a lot of orchestrated events that are going to seem as natural disasters. You probably have seen that unfold, but we're also going to see real natural disasters. We're going to have a lot of solar activity. We're going to have a lot of planetary activity that is moving us from this very dense, fear-based into a more light form. You're going to feel very intense energies during this time, and you're really going to, because the spiritual battle is full on. This is where you're going to see the collapsing a lot of these systems. It already started, with media, Hollywood, the finance system, and there's going to be a real decentralization of power or movement towards that right now. There's also going to be more disclosure, and there's going to be upgrades in DNA. And this means that a lot of light workers will sort of go online now, meaning not online as in the internet, but that too, but also online, meaning they'll become activated and really tap into their mission. So you're going to see a lot of people beginning to really step even further into this transformation of this life force, the chi life force, into something greater, into greater purpose. So it's going to change relationships. It's going to change family dynamics, relationship dynamics. It's going to change communities, which is now brings me to phase 4. This is when you're going to see a lot more tribes coming together based on values, not just bloodlines. Just because you're born into a family doesn't mean you're going to stay there. A lot of people are going to find the real light worker families and coming together and carrying out their purpose and helping others, because things are going to speed up even more. Creative expression is also going to evolve as we step into the next phase. You're going to see a lot more people doing sound healings, handpan music, and higher vibrational entertainment and music. Absolutely. This is a big one because, as you are aware, we've been exposed to a lot of low vibrational music and by the Matrix and entertainment that really kept us. And some of it was a real expression of the vibration that humanity was in. So as we step into this higher vibrational state and as our heart chakras open, you're going to see that we're going to appreciate different types of music and art. And you're already seeing this with YouTube. And this is going, again, help us transition to the full split. All right. By 2030, the full split is going to be way harder to transition from one timeline to the next, because one of the things that the archons that they're going to do is they're going to really use AI, not as just a helpful tool as it can be, but they're going to use AI as a way to manipulate us even more. And for those who are spiritually lazy or just kind of don't want to deal with it and see the truth, they're kind of going to go along because they're going to think this is a good idea, but it's really going to affect humans as we move ahead. It's going to affect our DNA. For light workers and those that are really stepping into the truth, you're going to really begin to experience these DNA upgrades, and you're really going to understand the role of humans, because we are the real superpower, us and Mother Earth. This is what the Pleiadians make very clear. They say the real superpowers are not specific countries. It's literally this planet and its resources and humans. This is why the archons, they really want to seize control of humans and the natural resources, because they know when they have that, they are the superpower, but it's not a real superpower. And that's what's starting to collapse, because people are realizing, hey, I have the power. Sovereignty, decentralization of power is a huge one. And we're going to see that in finance. And that is going to be a key for these brand new communities forming, because that is still, the exchange of resources is a big part of how we live in this reality. And that's going to transform, because right now within the matrix, a lot of people, are working jobs that they hate, or they're in very toxic environments, and they feel like they're still doing the rat race. But that's changing. And AI will help in that. But in the archon's version of the new earth, AI is going to be used to manipulate people's consciousness so that they're actually enslaved to the AI instead of the AI being in service to humanity, if that makes sense. So this is a very broad overview of these phases. If you're interested in knowing more, please make sure you join on Telegram. You can ask questions there. I do weekly updates. It's totally free. I also have free resources and more to come. And now it's time for a channeled message directly from the Pleiadians about how to help you transition in this process with courage, with love, with bravery, with grace. Thank you so much. Please share this message so that this family can grow, our cosmic family can grow, and more people are touched by the Pleiadians' messages. Thank you and be blessed. Dear humans, we are so delighted to come amongst you. And we often come simply to remind you, not as teachers, not as leaders, but simply as little vibrational alarm clocks. And when that alarm clock goes off, you are reminded, hey, you came here for a purpose. You came here at this point in time, not by chance, but by choice. And the choice that you made was to be here present, not simply to experience this, what sometimes might seem like a circus. We understand, for it seems like a circus from our perspective. But at the same time, you came to experience the beauty of this transformation. Now, in the physical sense, the transformation is not so easy. In the physical sense, the transformation can seem quite difficult and intense, for you are here in a physical body. See, the benefit of being a non-physical is that we really get to have that broad perspective. But you have that broad perspective as well, because you are connected to spirit. You are connected to source spirit. And that spirit is manifested in you as soul. And so part of what we want to share with you, some simple ways in which you can navigate this process, this split, as humans call it. And we call it the great spiritual battle, for it truly is a battle. Not in the sense that you know it. See, we see humans and light workers, those who are really focused on the work, as real warriors. Because we understand that being on this planet is not easy, and it requires courage and bravery. And sometimes that courage and bravery is needed even to wake up in the mornings, we understand. But especially in this process of the earth transitioning, of these dark archonic energies trying to, for a last time, impose their force on you, we understand it is difficult, but here is a few things that we would do if we were walking in your shoes. Firstly, we would wake up each morning with a sense of grace and gratitude for all that is, without judgment. Next, we would realize that we came here by choice, and thus we would put that choice into work. See, humans always ask us, do I have free will? And we say, you do. Does that mean you're using it? Not always. But you do have free will, and you are using it every time that you make a choice. Now, you could be using this free will consciously or unconsciously. And this is what the archons really count on, that humans will use their free will unconsciously. And they'll say, well, you chose this. And you say, well, I chose this with the information that I was given. If I knew better, if I knew the truth, I would have chosen something different. And so you now know the truth. But you might say, well, I don't know the truth. The truth is that you know the truth, for the truth is within you. That means that the greatest wisdom that you will receive in due time is from within. If you practice, that is. Because it's very easy to look without, and that's all right, because sometimes it is fun to look around and say what's going on here and what's going on there. It is a bit like window shopping. But you know what you really need. And what you really need, only you know that. And so, as you practice free will, really begin to connect with this inner world, and many of you already have, to really see where it is pointing you, for that will be the greatest guidance. And last but not least, make sure that you are having fun, because this process can be overwhelming. And especially as you begin to witness in the physical world things that you've known not be so anymore, it can really shift your vibration in a state of dullness, maybe even grief. And that's all right. Take the moments that you need to experience what you need to. But then remember that when you came here as a child, beyond all the crying that you did, the thing that you loved most was playing. And that's not just because you were a kid, but because that is a natural state. That is the natural state of being in a physical form, is a sense of play. So have more fun as you are navigating this, what might seem like a very intense experience. Have fun and invite others in that fun. But there's no need to force yourself. Those who are ready, they'll come along. Those who are not, maybe they will at some point, maybe they won't. But it does not matter, because with every single human that lives in a vibration of play, of joy, of well-being, of grace, while also being discerning, all right? Do not mistake that what we bring you forth. It is not to put you in a state where you are completely forgetting about what is going on, though sometimes that is good. What we want you to do is to make sure that while you are aware of what the archons are doing, you know that the most important thing is your vibration. Because when you maintain that vibration, there's nothing that can come between you and the new earth. We appreciate the opportunity to come amongst you each and every time. And we look forward to coming back and sharing more guidance and loving vibration